up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. Yeah, Ahsoka, right? It was a train wreck, wasn't it? But they talking about greenlighting this thing because they got to do a season 2 because they have to wrap up some of those loose ends. It just can't leave these little dangling threads sitting out there. Ahsoka and Sabine in another galaxy. What do we do with that? You know, Thrawn is now back in this galaxy, amassing his power on Dathomir. What do we do about that? Then you got Ezra showing up with Hera, with the Rebel fleet, everybody. What do we do about that? We got all of these little dangling threads out there. And so, yeah, they're going to want to wrap this stuff up. They're probably not going to do it in an animated show. That's what I would do. I would say, you know what, let's just make Rebels season 6 now, all right? And just go ahead and continue to tell the story that we were telling in Rebels, this particular story, because nobody's interested in a live action version of this thing. You know, except for the hardest of the hardcore fans. Nobody else is interested in this. So, yeah, they're talking about greenlighting season 2, moving the production over to the UK. All right, and that's cool and all. But listen, this Mandoverse situation, this thing is dead. The Mandoverse is absolutely dead or dying. All right, it's dead or it's damn near dead. It's on life support. And the doctor's like walking around the bed looking like, I don't think you're going to make it. You know, it's like, I don't think you're going to make it. Nobody's interested in this thing. It has been diminishing returns since the second season of Mando. Remember, Book of Boba Fett, that was a bomb. Mando season 3, we all thought Mando season 3 was going to be great. Mando season 3 was a bomb. And now you get to Ahsoka. And whereas Ahsoka didn't necessarily tank in the critic ratings and in the audience ratings, yeah, you got this 86% from the critics. You got this 70% from the audience. And listen, I know a lot of these audience guys, okay? I know a lot of these cats that love this stuff. And what did they love about Ahsoka? Oh, man, we love that we got finally we got a live action Sabine. That's what they like. We got a live action Sabine. Oh, we got a live action Hera. We got a live action Ezra. That's what they liked about this. We got a live action Chopper and Thrawn. That's what they were all clapping about. Not the story itself. They could care less if the series was good. We got all of these characters in live action. And then we got to see Anakin and young Ahsoka kind of interacting and then interacting with older Ahsoka. We got to see all of that little interaction. Oh, that was great. That's what they care about. What about the story? Oh, yeah, the story is all right. You know, that's how they act about it. So to me, that story or that score is misleading because it's not telling you how much the audience was really into this story. It's just telling you, hey, we got the fan service that we were asking for. We got live action renditions of animated characters. We good. And that's not going to be good enough for nobody else. I'm sorry. That's going to please those guys, and they're welcome to it. If that's what you're here for when it comes to Star Wars, you just want to have, you know, live action versions of the animated shows and the characters that you like. Hey, I'm not here to tell you not to love it. But I'm telling you right now that most people, I'm good. I don't care nothing about Ahsoka. Why would I care about Ahsoka? Why would I care about live action Sabine or Sabine as a character, period? This show gave us no reason to care about any of that stuff. So you guys can go ahead and like it. I'm not going to take that away from you. However, Lucasfilm is a company and they care about those diminishing returns. They care about the drop in viewership. Yeah, the Ahsoka Finale viewership numbers reveal a significant loss. Yeah, this is what they care about. This is what's important to Lucasfilm, especially when they're talking about, hey, maybe we should do a Mandoverse film. I think that sucker is dead, dead, dead. I don't think there's any chance of that coming. But you got to start to think, okay, if they're going to continue telling stories with these characters and they're going to try to put a major amount of production budget behind it with some money, with some top tier actors, you got to do better than this, Dave. Come on, Dave. But see, Dave didn't have his head screwed on straight from the very beginning, and that's why this thing fell apart.
This is what we've tried to do with the Star Wars saga now. We've tried to create more female characters who can represent so many things, because what we're trying to do isn't just create one type of character. We're trying to create a diverse range of characters, especially female characters that are strong, that are independent. When you look at Rey on The Force Awakens, she's a female lead in a whole new chapter of the Star Wars saga. We haven't done a movie for 10 years, and here comes a Star Wars film, and here comes Rey. And what is it? Is it Panic in the Streets? Oh my gosh, a female lead in a Star Wars movie. And then the trailer for Rogue One comes out, and it's another female lead. Oh my gosh, how unfair. We've had probably like 2 million straight film cinematic roles where men have been leads, and now we've done 2 in a row that are women. Well, too bad. Oh well. Maybe there are more coming. I don't know. our force for women characters, strong women characters, intelligent women characters, characters of all description. It won't just stop with 2 movies. It's something we're dedicated to for the foreseeable future because they're just great characters. Thank you so much.
You see what I mean, folks? That dude wasn't saving nothing. Dave Filoni wasn't saving nothing. Not with that mentality. Not with the mentality of, agenda first. Agenda first, not entertainment first, not character first, agenda first. Identity politics first. So, yeah, we got to shape Star Wars to be like this. We want it to be, female-centric. Okay, well, again, you got a female character. How did she do? Again, she was, look, Ahsoka Finale viewership clocks in worse than Andor. That was chasing the audience. Andor was chasing its audience. Ahsoka was like tailor-made, built for Star Wars fans to embrace it, to love it, to blow this thing up. And it lost viewership over time. People just less and less and less and less. They all checked out. And again, Andor actually did better than Ahsoka did. And it shows it right here. Here's the graphic. I'm going to blow this up. Now, this was posted on Twitter by this guy, MAC. As anticipated, Ahsoka's season finale came in under Andor's by 99 million minutes. Let's go ahead and blow that up a little bit. And I'm not sure if you can see it, but Andor, 674 million minutes. Again, that's its finale. And Ahsoka at 575. So, again, this is the craziest thing about it. Nobody was really checking for Andor. We knew that. Even as the show was out and we were talking about it and praising it, I was like, yeah, but nobody's watching. Nobody's really watching Andor. Meanwhile, Ahsoka, again, tailor-made. You got lightsabers all over the place. Not a single lightsaber in Andor. It was as Star Warsy as you can possibly get. And yeah, that's the finale. That's the finale. So that tells you everything you need to know. Once again, Dave Filoni, it's him. He didn't understand what the assignment was. When you are building out franchises, not just about, hey, we got to push our agendas. We got to push, a female lead, whatever he want to do. You can't just think about that. This has everything to do with the characters that you are creating, with the characters that you are writing. George Lucas gave us the original trilogy. He gave us 3 great characters. Han, Luke, Leia. We all know. We got a trio of very interesting but different characters that kind of would appeal to different people for different reasons, right? What did we get with Ahsoka? We didn't get any of that. Even the lead character herself was just kind of dull and boring. And it's like, why am I checking for this, Dave? You're not giving me any reason to watch this show. I could care less about this character, and that's the main character. Ahsoka should be the big... Look, let me show y'all something real fast. Now, this little excerpt I'm about to read is from this book, The Anatomy of Story by John Truby. And he's talking about creating your hero, okay? And FYI, I am not sponsored or anything by this guy or the book or anything like that. Always could be, but I'm not, okay? I'm just speaking again. This is something that helps me with my writing, all right? When I'm trying to understand, hey, when you're creating these characters, what's important, what's not important, what to include, what to leave out. Let's pay attention to this, all right? So check this out. Creating your hero, step 1, meeting the requirements of a great hero. Now, let's think about this in terms of Ahsoka. First step in building your hero is to make sure he or she meets the requirement that any hero in any story must meet. These requirements all have to do with the main character's function. He is driving the entire story. All right, so first thing, make your lead character constantly fascinating. Was Ahsoka constantly fascinating? Any character who's going to drive the story and has to grab and hold the audience's attention at all times. There must be no dead time, no treading water, no padding in the story, and no metaphors to hammer home the point. Whenever your lead character gets boring, the story stops. That was the main issue with Ahsoka. A lot of times this story just came to a screeching halt, and we were like, what are we supposed to be doing? Who are we following right now? There was even problems with us just knowing who the main character was. There were times when it felt like Sabine was the main character of this thing, right? It's like, is Sabine the main character? And really, the ones that were pushing the action forward constantly were the villains. The main characters were always just playing catch up, always trying to figure out what was going on, all the way through about episode 5. That's what it was. So for the first 4 episodes, it was like the villains were driving the action and the story. And, we didn't identify with the character. And that's what it gets to next. make the audience identify with the character, but not so much. So I like this and the way he breaks this down. And this is important. I wish all of Hollywood would read this type of stuff. Identify is a term that many people toss around, but few define. We say that the audience should identify with the hero, so they will be emotionally attached to the character. But what does this really mean? Now, peep this. And again, Hollywood will never understand this, but this is one of the major points that Hollywood needs to get. People who think you create a character by adding traits also think that audiences identify with such characteristics as background, job, dress, income, race, and sex. Nothing could be further from the truth. If audiences identified with specific characteristics, no one would identify with anyone because each character would have too many traits the audience member doesn't share. Do you see why race and gender and all of that crap is just terrible? It's playing the identity politics game and it just doesn't work. It makes for lousy characters. John Truby is 100% right here. You got to identify with more than somebody outside, right? Outside of their general characteristics, like their race, their sex, or how much money they make, or their background or their job and any of this crap. None of that stuff means anything when it comes to you identifying with the character on the screen. What does matter? He says it right here. Audiences identify with a character based on two elements: his desire and the moral problem he faces. In short, desire and need. Desire and need is something we can all relate to. We all got our own desires. We all got our own needs. And then we can empathize with the character on the screen and go like, oh yeah, this person wants this person wants that. This is where they're falling short. This is what they need. Okay, I identify with that. We identify with Luke Skywalker. Why? Is it because we're, a white guy living on a desert planet somewhere? Parents killed, living with their aunt and uncle. Is that why we identify with Luke Skywalker? Of course not. We see what Luke wants. He has dreams. He has ambitions. He wants to get out of his little hut in his little town or whatever. He wants to get off of this rock. And we understand that. Some of us have felt that way. So it has nothing to do with his particular circumstances. His desires and his needs is something that we all can kind of relate to. And that's how you write a character, Dave. But Dave didn't do that. He just, hey, here's a chick. We didn't make her lame and gay, I guess. So, hey, maybe we doing all right. But here's a chick. And who's supposed to identify with this character if you're outside of Star Wars? Nobody. Nobody knows. And see, this is where Filoni failed. He expected the audience to identify with Ahsoka, but he didn't give us anything to identify with. So what was she struggling with? We're not told. What were her desires? We're not told. What does she need? What does she want to get out of this whole situation, and why? He laid some information out in episode 5. He did give us the whole thing with Anakin and her discussing her lineage as his Padawan. We got all of that, but that wasn't set up prior to that episode at all. And if you didn't watch the Clone Wars and you didn't watch Rebels, you had no idea what was going on before that moment. And you see, that's why we got this number right here. That's what this number is all about. Again, not giving us anything we care about in this character of Ahsoka. Again, you want me to relate to a character that's on the screen? You're writing this character. You want me to relate to this character? Then you got to give me something that I can sink my teeth into. Oh, I can understand what this character is going through. I can see the desire. Again, even an alien on another planet, I can see the desire. I can see the need. I can see what it is that this character is trying to accomplish. I've had similar situations like that in my own personal life. I understand it. And again, everybody can kind of relate to those general overall things. But when you try to pin it down to race or sex, like Dave Filoni is out here doing, oh yeah, it's about her being a girl. Yeah, we got to put more female characters out here. Well, yeah, you see how well it did, okay? The absolute interest fell completely off the side of a cliff, Dave. Yeah, this is you. This is you and your writing. You got to get better. Can he get better? Can they fix Ahsoka by the time season 2 gets here? If it ever even comes around, who knows? The way it's looking, no, hell no, it can't get fixed. But we'll see what happens with Dave Filoni. You guys let me know what you think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.